Holla holla, James Drums coming at you tonight. Um, so I took Friday and Saturday off, and I didn't really do much in terms of practicing or playing. I listened to a lot of music and kind of thought about a lot of things, but didn't actually sit down and practice, which is nice. Today's the last day, really, of getting my mom's house ready to put on sale, and I've just been working all weekend, so it's been good, but it feels great to be back behind the drums. And sometimes you need a little break. You should always, I don't know. I think you always need to be working, but sometimes you just need to take a day or two off and compress, unwind. And also, one of my best friends is in town, and he's leaving. He lives out in Berlin, in Germany. So it was good to hang out with him for the last 2 days and just kind of catch up and hang out. But anyways, so today I'm going to do 3 videos so I can catch up. And the first video, which will be day 101, also hit 100 days straight, which is pretty good. I think I missed 1 day in that whole thing, so now I've missed 3 days in the past 103 days. Not that bad. This one right here is going to be, I think right here, the one that I want to talk to you about is more of a concept. And it is the concept of when you're practicing things, like I'm working on that J.P. Beauvais stuff and also that Matt Garstka stuff, is you want to practice them slow and make sure you actually can play them. Now, and understand, and I do this all the time, where I want to just practice fast, and it's great, but I think it's really important that you're getting it slow and you get it in your hands, and you really feel confident in every single thing that you're playing. I think it makes a huge difference. I also think that I'm going to also, in this video, go ahead and give you my New Year's resolutions on drums. Number 1 is I want to get through 1s, 2s, 3s, 5s, and 7s. I think that feels right. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 4 is kind of like 2s, I guess. But basically what I'm saying is the different variations of the Matt Garstka challenge in my left hand and my right foot. So singles, doubles, triples, or just combinations of 3-note groupings, combinations of 5-note groupings, and combinations of 7-note groupings. And maybe, depending on where I get this year, maybe I'll do combinations of 9-note groupings too. But that's number 1. And I'm kind of getting there. I think it's just, you just got to hammer it out, because I think that's something that can really help me. Second one is I really want to get my fluidity of my 16th note triplets down. So I want to just be able to go on 16th note triplets for however long I want, and no stop, obviously musical breaths, but no stopping, none of that kind of stuff. And that's part of why I'm doing this J.P. Beauvais thing, and also partly why I'm just constantly really trying to do it and slow and make sure everything I'm playing is what I'm hearing, and I'm not just playing bullshit. It's all real important, and I hear it and it makes sense. And I feel like I know exactly what I'm doing. Even though it comes from a different place, I know what I'm doing. The third is I really want to work on, my pocket. I feel like I have a really good pocket for the most part. I would give myself a B, not A, but like B plus, when I'm playing certain things. And I think what I would really like to do is get to an A minus, because for what I really want to do is I really need to be there. and that means just playing along with great records and really doing a lot of metronome work and just playing time. I think that's huge. Just practicing time and really getting confident. Sometimes when I go out and see, and I'm sure other people feel this way, but it's a good reminder to think about it in these terms, is that whenever I go out and see a great drummer play, I'm always just like, God damn, I got to do more of that. And maybe there's some things that you can take from great drummers, but I think the majority of the time, instead of thinking like that, I like to see if I can pull out concepts from what they're doing and apply that in my own voice. I think that's the most important to me, is I like drummers that have a unique voice, and when I listen to them play, I'm like, yeah, that's him. Like, I like it. Like, I like that kind of stuff. When I listen to JR, when I listen to, Jeff Beccaro, when I listen to Steve Jordan, when I listen to Aaron Sterling, when I listen to all these guys, like, they have a thing that I very much like. Like, I can always tell when Vinny's playing, he has a thing, he has a sound, he has a voice. Or Toss Panos. Like, there's people that can play a lot of things and they sound great doing a lot of things. But it's because they are a chameleon and they can sound like themselves. But if you take someone like Steve Gadd, he can play a bunch of things great, but he sounds like Steve Gadd every single time he plays. And I think that's kind of where my ultimate musical goal is to get like that. And I'm sure all those guys feel like, oh yeah, I'm not there yet. But to me they are, and it's the next level of hearing that. So I really want to be able to start really thinking and gaining confidence in my musical decisions. Like, I think I need to be able to pull out some crazy chops here and there, but I'm not that guy. I'm not a chops guy. That's not what I really do. I love doing it, and I can do it, and I think it's important. I want to be able to do all of that. I really want to be able to just pull out some crazy gospel chops licks, and people will be like, oh, damn. But that's not necessarily what I hear all the time. Even though I listen to a lot of that stuff, it's not necessarily what I hear going on. Like, I hear, like, super solid, just groove. And I really want to start going for that. Like, when I played at that jam session the other week, I sat down, I didn't do anything crazy, and I didn't sound like, I didn't do anything nuts, and maybe people are just being nice, and I think they probably were, because the other guy, that Shook Black, that guy, he can play the shit out of the drums. He's an amazing drummer. But I just went up there and played Mr. Clean and just kind of grooved, and I felt personally like I really thought that I was like, this is what I feel like. I didn't try to do anything crazy. I didn't try to overplay. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. This is what I sound like. And even if I try, it's like I'm not at the level where I have the facility like he does. And so it's like, I'm just going to look like an idiot if I try to be like him, And I don't want to do that. You always have to be on point. And I'm going to sound great doing what I know I'm good at, what I can do. So that was like and having multiple people come up and say, hey, you sounded great. It was like, okay, that was good. It was like a breath of fresh air, like, oh, I don't actually need to play like that. I can play like myself, So it was nice. It was nice. But I really want to keep going towards that direction. It kind of just made these thoughts and ideas solidify, like, oh yeah, that is what I really need to do, is I just need to be a better me. And then the last kind of thing, in terms of my personal journey on drums. So we have the Matt Garska challenge is number 1, 16th notes fluidity 2, work on my groove and figuring out how to just get a better pocket, and also more interesting things to do on the hi-hat and within the beat. Like, I've been listening to a lot of like dance music and a lot of other things, and it's a lot about keeping a really steady bass drum and snare drum and doing more like sounds and other things that add these accents, not always 16th or 8th note patterns on the hi-hat. So that's the next one, and I think that one applies most specifically to Dorado, my band. And then also the fourth thing is I'm building that studio, and it's almost done. It'll probably be done in about a week or two, and I am going to invest a decent amount of cash into a recording setup so I can actually start practicing recording drums. Because I mean, I think two reasons. One is because most of the drummers that I love more than anything else are people that are more studio musicians. Not saying I don't love live music, but I mean, the people that I gravitate towards and listen to are people that do play live a lot, but are also put down some serious studio music, drumming and music. I mean, they just are great. So that's my fourth one, is really start getting my stuff together, because also I want more income and I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to record myself, record my own ideas, record my own songs, record for other people. I think it's just a skill that, I mean, I hear tons of drummers talking about it, and it's like, even though I probably won't get that kind of work. I mean, hopefully I do, but I really just want to do it for myself and get that experience and get that knowledge. Because that's what I love. I love those guys, and I want to be able to do that. And I also want to hopefully diversify myself even more and have a chance of just making it doing that, you know? And I don't know, just trying to get all that stuff together. So those are my four things. You know, I think that's a good list, and I think that's doable this year, is really to work on that. And obviously there's going to be fun distractions and there's going to be gigs and all this other stuff, but I think having the studio at my house will really help me get right back into the swing of things. So I know that was a long one, but I think that was a good one. I think it's important to document this stuff for whoever's listening, and I mean, probably it'll just be me that's listening to this, but it's a good reminder, like, document. Like, Vaynerchuk, what's his name? Gary Vaynerchuk. He always is saying document. Document, document, document. And I think it is important to document, whether it's personal, like writing, like I do that every morning, or if it's public, like YouTube or something. It's just like, get out there, document. That's all you need to do, you know? So I'm going on record saying, back in the swing of things, feels great to be back. And those are my New Year's goals. Those are my 4 New Year's goals. So, dope. If you made it this far, then you must really love this. Because I would have turned this off 2 minutes ago. Or 2 minutes into it. So, holla holla. Thanks for listening. Peace.